Hey guys, today we're going to pick up where we left off, which is the chemistry chapter. Today we're going to be talking about acids and alkalis. So let's get started.
There's a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Buddha. Come on, Miss Bonnie. Get ready, girl.
Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about your acids and your alkalis, but I just kind of want to backtrack a little bit from the last video, which we talked about the pH scale and water. So if you recall, we said that products with water in it is what has a pH. Your pH scale ranges from 0 to 14, and in the middle is 7.0, which is neutral. So remember, from 0 to 6.9 is the acid side of the pH scale, which is reactive to your hydrogen ions. And then 7.1 to 14 is the alkaline side of the pH scale, which is reactive to the hydroxide ions. Okay, so some examples of acid would be your alpha hydroxy acids, which we use for exfoliating the skin in the salons. We use that for adjusting the pH to conditioners, to lotions, and to creams. And what else did I want to tell you? It closes the cuticles. That I could have told you. You got vinegar rinses, you got lemon rinses used to close the cuticle. Now, why is that so important? You have to understand the structure of the hair. And the cuticle scales, remember I talked about this in prior videos, actually protect the cortex, and I don't want to get too far into that. But the look of the hair when the cuticles are closed is that shiny, healthy look. So that's why it's such a big deal when, let's say, if you buy extension hair and it says closed cuticles, it means you're going to have shine, less tangling and matting in the extension hair. And the same thing with someone else's hair. That's why certain products, you see drugstore products that brag about shiny hair. Well, because the cuticles are closed, so that hair appears to be healthy. Now, I didn't say it is healthy, but it appears to be. So that's what acids do, okay? Some other examples of acid would be thioglycolic acid, which is a colorless liquid that you will find in permanent waving solutions. Now, the textbook says that it smells horrible, or that it's a bad smell. I hate to say this, but it's not a bad smell to me. I actually love the smell of permanent waves. I always have, and that's actually one of my favorite things to teach and one of my favorite things to do. But this you'll learn later in the perming chapter. So that's another example. Let's see. Glycolic acid, which you use for glycolic pills. You can use it on the hands, on the feet with aging skin because it helps with wrinkles, and it also helps with acne. And you can use it on the face too. I meant to say that. So your alkalis, remember, it's reactive to the hydroxide ions on the pH scale. So an example, the biggest example I will tell you is sodium hydroxide, which is a form of lye. And you will find this in virgin relaxers, which we're going to get into later on this month, well, in the beginning of December. But sodium hydroxide relaxer is one of the strongest chemicals that you'll work with, and I mentioned this in my virgin bleach videos. Those two chemicals are the strongest. So sodium hydroxide you will find in drain cleaners. You will find in some shampoos. You will find in baby lotions. You will find sodium hydroxides in callus treatments and also in cuticle removers. Right, so this is how strong sodium hydroxide is. If you watch the movie Good Hair, which is an old movie with Chris Rock in it, but the scientists will show you that sodium hydroxide can literally eat through a soda can. And I'm not kidding you, when you apply relaxer onto the hair, it's unfortunate. Some hairstylists, you'll see them just dip their hand in there and just slap it on the person's head. Well, The problem is when you're smashing it into the hair, because it is a caustic chemical, and you leave that stuff on there, you can give that person, if you're not applying this properly and checking on it, you can give that person a 3rd-degree burn to the point where their hair never grows back. Permanent hair loss. Now this is something I've seen. I've seen where the person's hairline was burned and it was pasted straight to their head, and then when you go to comb it, the hair literally with the scabs just comes right out of the scalp. And that's what you're dealing with sodium hydroxide, and that is an example of an alkali. So we have acids, we have alkali, and these are your examples of the two. And if you want to read this in the Milady textbook, if you're studying in school, prepping for state board, this is for your written exam. You'll find it on page 266. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for your support. Bye, guys.